The AI teacher that served 200 million students got kicked off the New York Stock Exchange. But here's the twist. It never stopped teaching. This is the story of Ben Hu, a Chinese engineer who built an AI so revolutionary it challenged human teachers worldwide, achieved a billion-dollar valuation, then lost it all in spectacular fashion. Yet, somehow his failed company is still transforming millions of lives today. Most entrepreneurs would call this a cautionary tale. I call it the most important startup story you've never heard, because it reveals the brutal truth about what it really takes to change the world with artificial intelligence. Before we dive into the billions, let's talk about beginnings. Ben Hu, also known as Hu Jiren, started where many great tech stories do, Shanghai Jiaotong University, studying computer science at one of China's most prestigious institutions. But here's what's fascinating. Ben didn't follow the traditional path. As he recalls, "I was born in Shanghai and went to Shanghai Jiaotong University as an undergrad studying computer science. After graduation, I went to the University of Arizona for the PhD program. 1 year into the program, I figured that I would not pursue the PhD program further and joined a startup in NYSE. That startup decision was pivotal. In New York, Ben joined a company that exploded from just 7 employees to 35 across 15 countries. Then came Silicon Valley, at Quantcast, where he helped scale the team from 60 to 150, driving revenue through digital ads for giants like BMW and Toyota. But it wasn't just about collecting impressive resume lines. Ben was learning the DNA of scaling technology companies. And here's the first lesson for any entrepreneur. Ben wasn't just working, he was studying. He was learning how to scale technology companies, how to handle massive user bases, and, most importantly, how to fail fast and learn faster. Because here's what happened next that nobody talks about. 2011. Ben returns to China with big dreams and Silicon Valley experience. His first venture? A personal search engine company. Sounds promising, right? Wrong. By early 2012, it was dead in the water. But here's what Ben Hu said about that failure. The technology was too difficult, and we couldn't clearly define what users needed. That brutal honesty? That's what separates successful entrepreneurs from the rest. Ben didn't make excuses. He learned 2 critical lessons that would make him millions later. First, technical complexity doesn't equal market success. Second, and this is crucial, you need to solve a real problem that people actually care about. Most entrepreneurs would be devastated. Ben Hu saw opportunity. Walking through Shanghai in 2012, he noticed something everywhere. Chinese people struggling with English. In coffee shops, on the streets, in offices. Everyone wanted to learn, but traditional methods were expensive, inconsistent, and, frankly, boring. As Ben himself reflected, I realized that if we could use AI to create a teacher that understands how Chinese people learn English, we could solve a massive problem. And with that insight, Liulishuo was born. Late 2012, Ben Hu teams up with Yi Wang and Hui Lin to create something that had never been done before. The name Liulishuo literally means fluent speaking, and that wasn't accidental. As Ben explained, Liulishuo is a world-leading AI plus education company. At this moment, we are focusing on language learning, mainly English. We developed a lot of the in-house AI technology to create an AI teacher to teach students English in a more efficient way. But here's the technical wizardry that made it revolutionary. First, ASR, automatic speech recognition. This wasn't just any speech recognition. Listen to Ben's proud claim. We probably have the most extensive audio database for Chinese-speaking English. With that amount of data, we have our ASR to recognize Chinese accent English, and are probably #1 in the world in that regard. Think about that. They didn't just build speech recognition, they built the world's best Chinese English accent recognition system. Second through fourth, natural language processing for intelligent feedback, adaptive learning for personalized paths, and text-to-speech for interactive conversations. But building the technology was only half the battle. The real challenge? Getting people to trust an AI over human teachers. Think about it. Would you learn English from a robot? Ben's answer was genius. Make the AI so good that it's actually better than most human teachers. Consistent, available 24/7, patient, and personalized to your exact needs. And it worked. The app launched as English Liulishuo, which translates to English fluently, and something magical happened. The numbers are absolutely staggering, and Ben's own words make them even more impressive. As Ben proudly stated, our flagship app in China has accumulated over 97 million registered users. Over the past 30 months of our monetization period, we've accumulated more than 1 million paid customers. By the first quarter of 2021, 200.6 million users, 3.9 billion minutes of conversation recorded, 53.2 billion sentences practiced. But here's what's even more impressive. The investors took notice. IDG Capital, GGV Capital, TrustBridge Partners, over $100 million in funding rounds. September 2018, the moment that changed everything. New York Stock Exchange opening bell, ticker symbol LAIX, raising $72 million in their initial public offering. Ben Hu had officially built a billion-dollar company, and the recognition kept pouring in. Apple's Selected Apps of the Year, CB Insights. AI 100, the only Chinese education company to make the prestigious list. Their global brand LingoChamp reached 175 countries, targeting Southeast Asia and Latin America. But then, like many great stories, came the challenges. Success in startups is never a straight line, and Ben Hu's journey proves it. But what happened next reveals the harsh realities that even billion-dollar companies can't escape. The perfect storm was brewing. First, the monetization challenge. Ben's honest reflection reveals the depth of the problem. Even though lots of potential customers still have doubt, as human behavior towards education or other areas like healthcare, their behavior will change slowly. Both education and healthcare are difficult decisions for a consumer to make. Second, the regulatory tsunami. China's crackdown on for-profit education companies hit the entire sector like a freight train. Third, the geopolitical reality. US-China tensions created a hostile environment for Chinese stocks on American exchanges. Here's the brutal math. Liulishuo's stock, which peaked at $16 post-IPO, struggled to stay above $1. When it couldn't maintain the New York Stock Exchange's minimum $15 million market cap for 30 consecutive trading days, the delisting notice came in April 2022. Ben's response revealed his character. No excuses, no blame. Just continued focus on the mission of helping people learn. Here's what's remarkable. Even after delisting, even after the financial devastation, Liulishuo didn't disappear. In fact, as of 2025, they're pursuing something even more meaningful than stock prices. Ben's enduring confidence shines through. Students using our software solution are able to learn English efficiently and effectively. That differentiates us from lots of other players. Recent studies published in Nature validate his claims, showing Liulishuo's effectiveness in improving English-speaking performance. The company continues expanding globally through LingoChamp, now operating in 175 countries across Southeast Asia, South Asia, and Latin America. But here's what reveals Ben's true character. The Rural Education Support Project. Since 2016, his AI teachers have reached over 12,500 students in more than 100 rural Chinese schools, promoting educational equity where it's needed most. And Ben's vision extends beyond English. The company is exploring new subjects like math and coding, proving that even a failed billion-dollar company can continue innovating and serving millions. So what can we learn from Ben Hu's journey, from billion-dollar valuation to delisting to lasting impact? First, failure teaches what success cannot. Ben's words, "My failed search engine taught me more than my successful initial public offering." Second, solve real problems for real people. Millions of Chinese people needed better English education. Ben delivered it, and kept delivering, even after the market rejected him. Third, true success survives market crashes. Stock prices are temporary. Impact is permanent. Fourth, sometimes getting delisted is the best thing that can happen to you. It forces you to focus on what really matters. Ben Hu's story isn't just about building a billion-dollar company that lost its billions. It's about building something so meaningful that it survives its own failure. As Ben himself says, "The market can value us however it wants, but no one can put a price on changing a child's future through education." And that, entrepreneurs, is how you build something that truly matters, not just for the market, but for the world. If Ben Hu's journey taught you something new about success and failure, hit that subscribe button and tell me in the comments, what would you do if your billion-dollar company got delisted? Until next time, keep building the future, even when the market doesn't believe in it.